Okay, back. Timer. Got the timer this time. Okay, let me get right into it. I know that some of my past videos I was on the element of in spirit and truth, which kind of correlates with where my heart's at today, which is all about. However, I got awakened to this memory. I remember in my mind got this whole vision in my head about us as pew sitters, churchgoers, or followers of Jesus. Are we taxis or are we rescue squads? And that was something that came to me many years ago. I would say like in early 2000s. And there's where on the element of are we more so a taxing people concerned about, I want to invite this person to church, or on the other side of being a rescue squad, prepared, equipped, ready, and then excited to, in someone's mind, thinking about, wow, how I can invite this person to follow Jesus. So there's where those two emphases, being a taxing people more so, inviting people to church, or being a rescue squad, equipped, prepared, and ready to invite someone to follow Jesus. And there's where us as followers of Jesus, there's things that we can do to equip ourselves to be more confident and to feel more adequate in that where we will know how to, with more confidence, introduce somebody or invite somebody to secure their salvation. There's many different terms people use: get them saved, save people. I like to use awaken or help someone secure their salvation membership. And there's where, we all have different ways of how we want to paint the picture. And there's where there's things we can do to help us paint the picture, because it's all going to be in that moment in our life when we go about our day here or there and somehow come across somebody, and it's the process when that opportunity arises. Usually it's through whether we do a good deed or just friendly or just say hi, it opens the door, and it slowly opens the door to where somehow we either do the good deed or the comment goes into a chat, and then from talking somehow it just happens there, bam, to where the opportunity arises, where we sense the desire to introduce somebody, where we go, what I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it on the table, and there's where we all will learn discernment of how to do that, how to do it effectively or confidently, and then we'll understand our own, efficiency of how that moment, we're kind of like excited for that moment to happen, the more prepared we are. And so there's where I'm going to go back to the element of being a rescue squad. We all have different ways of equipping ourselves and explaining to someone where, see, I'm very strong. In my past, I've tried my best in different ways to introduce somebody, to encourage them to be a rescue squad for Jesus. More so teaching people how to invite people to Jesus, more so than invite people to church. And here's where, like I said in the last video, nothing wrong with inviting people to church. And for me, it's all about priority, where, and I believe in a prioritizing way, we should be more concerned about inviting someone to follow Jesus more so than inviting them to church. Because that over the years, over the last, okay, timer. One more minute. And there we go. That aspect of inviting people to church compared to inviting people to Jesus is something that has kind of, over the last, I would say 2,000 years, it has slowly become more of a common thing. Not for all, but just a lot of people that they feel the need to, they kind of feel protective about their church. It becomes personal, and they feel more so a desire and concern about inviting someone to maybe go to the church or like their church, or they hope they like you. It's like, that's a great concern. But number one concern is, how well can I paint the picture of salvation? How well can I paint that an invitation to be a disciple of Jesus? Because see, in that moment, we're all going to have our own personal way of how we paint that picture, because it's all going to be in that moment. Bam. What kind of picture are we going to paint for someone to see the good news of Jesus, where they'll see they'll sense in themselves the need that, wow, I want to follow Jesus. I want to secure my salvation. There's ways we can do that to paint the picture to where someone is motivated, where they feel the need to secure their salvation, more so than secure their need to go to a church or to a building. That's, like I said, it's fine dandy, priority. I believe our masters are first, and we should be more concerned about inviting them to follow Jesus more so than inviting them to church. That's just my opinion. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with inviting people to church. It's just that should be secondary. In other words, I remember over the years I have said, if anything, it's awesome when we can invite someone to church that we had a part of introducing them to Jesus, to where in our invitation, we taxi a saved salvation person to church, more so than kind of taxing someone to church, hoping hopefully maybe the pastor will preach a salvation message. Maybe they'll come to the altar. Maybe, we got all these ideas. Like, you'd be surprised if you studied the centuries, how that became a norm, to where a big percentage of followers of Jesus, it was more so, man, I gotta invite this person to church, so maybe the pastor, maybe they'll come to the altar, maybe they'll get saved at the altar. It's like, instead of, it should be like this. Here's my opinion. As we interact with people in our world, we're acquainting, befriending people in all the different places we go, and then we should be thinking, my mind is, we're going, gosh, there's this one person over here at the bank, or there's one person at this gas station, or there's a person at this coffee house. Man, I'm all excited because I think it's about ready to kind of set the table of introducing them, to ask them if they want to become a follower of Jesus, or if they want to secure their salvation, or there's things that we can do that we can feel more confident in that moment, to where that moment when we're prepared for it, and it's just like, we're excited as we go about our day. We're just like licking our chops, waiting for somebody, where we sense a discernment of going, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to introduce them, invite them to follow Jesus. And then, bam, we do it. And we all have our own personal way of how we do that. But anyways, I'm going to end the video. There's my main concern right now is all about, think about this thought. Am I Am I more so a taxi for Jesus, or am I a rescue squad? Now think about that question. Am I a taxi? Am I more so taxing people to the church? Is that my mark? Am I more concerned about that? Or am I more concerned about inviting people to follow Jesus instead of inviting people to church? Think about that thought. I'm going to end this video. Okay, here we go.